Hello everyone and welcome to the new free video. You are very lucky to watch this video. If you see it, then you are the chosen one and you have a chip familiar word Chip and Dale. Remember this cartoon? We grew up on this cartoon. We're still Scooby-Doo to Tom and Duck stories. Close your eyes and imagine a world without bad anime, bro. See this, the world is our world with you, in which I give you a buzz and pleasure scanners, because today I have prepared a new selection of amazing anime that you hardly watched. Sit back on your wooden stools and prick up your ears. One mute which I want to tell you today is called A Strange Taxi, and it's strange no matter how strange or strange it is. They are mine about animals, not about your entrance, which lives beer until 2 in the morning. I yell until the police beat them with batons. Anime about real animals that behave like people. The main character there is a nasty sullen walrus of 30 or 40 years old who drove their taxi. This one lives an ordinary life, the same person who bullied the hard workers in Dota 7, and then he himself became the same sullen hard workers under beer. However, the situation with this guy is a little different. The margin is surrounded by animals that live the same ordinary life. A friend is a monkey who is obese and mired in debt, working as a cleaner but not losing hope of getting to know the beauty from Tinder stupidly. And in 10 years I am the director of the Gorilla Clinic. The wife is a family man who loves his quiet measured work, and also his assistant nurse is a sheep. Or what kind of animal did the Japanese marry? A new kind of animal at home. That's all the friends of our main character. So he would have lived a quiet measured life, only once everything is changing, because what is happening is that something was supposed to happen that should knock out the main character of the rock and allow him to change and grow as characters. Now in life, margin appears here. The impulses of a 22-year-old student do not give an uber behemoth to twin brothers of police meerkats, one of whom turns out to be corrupt nits, psychopath, gamer, loser, and over a couple of stand-up comedian of dangerous bandits, even Cuba. For all this, the margin of the taxi driver falls on his head like a snowball and he is forced to taxi all these events. Fling is a cool pun and I came up with. Here's a bang to myself. Margin, we have to gradually get out of the comfort zone to save our friends and little by little find out the terrible truth about our past. Anime taxi sides, as I said earlier, are strange. They do not look like ordinary anime, and its genre is extremely difficult to determine. There is action and detective and thrillers comedy. Rather, it is some kind of conversational thriller or something very much. Here the characters are based on dialogues and on their disclosure, because each of the characters is written as if it is a real person with his own shortcomings, a set of emotions, complexes. Understanding A Strange Taxi and can be compared with a good wine. With every sip, something new opens up in it. It opens up better and better. For comparison, stupidly default Sika. Or about school, let's compare it with the Baltic that you drink after the factory. The analogy is clear here. I saw a lot of negative comments because people didn't like the taxi country. An amendment is needed here. They didn't like it. They didn't understand or didn't grow up, didn't want a cultural level and good taste, a sense of a beautiful aesthetic approach to life. For example, here's a man from the taxi country did not like stupidly because he hates animals. That is, why do I even? I'm explaining something for connoisseurs of a well thought out non-linear plot. I advise you to check out the competent disclosure of the characters and a pleasant time of the evening. City roll up a couple of evenings and say thank you to Hikikomori, and you can also talk to me by subscribing to my guests, where I fill in stream recordings and where you can find a link to my closed Telegram channel. This is so the word on the link will be a description under this video of the next incredible hymn, and which with a high probability I can advise you this is immortal for you. They are my strange format in 20 episodes, and with A Strange the concept of the fate of the hero is disputed in the name itself, but from this they are worse. We will not stop much worse when the name isn't clear at all. It's sitting like this and they are on the Atari market. Your bush shock of cooking the essence of Shimash, and you yourself do not notice how you accidentally call this world of software. Well, in general, I think you need to be the creator of the anime. Be honest with the audience without misleading them, because the stupid son does not understand the dream of the bunny girl at all. About the bunny girl, pig of your April lie. No one lied to anyone in April, but this is not a continuation of Naruto. This is, but let's go back to them. For you immortals, understand how the immortal arrived on earth. Not that at first this something took the form of a stone, then turned into moss, into an animal, and so gradually over and over again she acquired the consciousness of a wolf, into a person, further and further. This something developed from a vegetable stocked as a full-fledged personality. Part of the right move pisses red and think coming through various difficulties I meet a variety of people. This is something that was looking for itself, and from each person that I met on the way, I took something new, learned something. As I said, walks the fate of the main character, and spoiler in the title itself is less interesting from this they become. In general, you can say that this anime is immortal for you without the main character, because the key role here is just played by minor characters whom the same thing meets on its way. Each of these characters is unique in its own way. Everyone has their own baggage of knowledge, values, and the life experience that is transmitted to the immortal after their death. Before some characters met on the way die allows the immortal to reincarnate into the deceased hero. Absorbs includes all the best from the dead who at one time helped him get back on his feet and learn something, use their skills and abilities, and most importantly keeps their memory. And this is an amazing metaphor of the metaphor, which is that a person is alive as long as the memory of him is alive. As long as you remain in the minds and hearts of people, I'm still alive after my death, which is why, by the way, partly I started doing YouTube music, partly because of money, but also parts of me. But it doesn't matter. I want, even after my death, when I can't do anything anymore, those things that I managed to create during my life and continued to exist outside of time, helping people feel a little better. Another reason why I didn't like this title, Immortal, is essentially a chameleon, an empty vessel that absorbs all the best from other people, copying each of them, but at the same time is not something, and at the same time is all this. It reminded me of my school years when, due to low self-esteem, I closed myself in and did not develop as a person. All the years I constantly tried to imitate someone else's image and copied other people's styles of behavior, jokes, and all that. It seemed to me that I was just a chameleon who adapts to the immersive reality without having my own originality. Since then, it's really been a long time since I graduated from school 7 years ago. So much has changed in me since then. Honestly, I myself can't give an answer to this question, but also the last mute that I can't help but advise you, because I watched all 50 episodes. Even if it turned out to be the last sheet, I would still advise you, but fortunately for you and for me, they may be just a canon, and it's called The March Lion. And again, we are for Skamilina. The name is because there can be no question of lions here, and this is about a recluse guy who is fond of playing earrings, or steps, in short, Japanese chess with very strange rules. No matter how much I tried to understand them, I didn't understand, because I basically don't give a shit on Sega and in general the sports component. Further, Ahmad is also a sport is revealed here. Not bad, but still the sports interest in March Libya is rather minimal. Most of the blanket is pulled over by the personal drama of the heroes of this anime. The main character, as I have already on the day of the shoji game, the guy lost his family early and was bullied or bullying in his foster family, and was never able to socialize. All he has is to play all the gi, and this is his whole life. However, even despite his incredible talent, the main character is extremely apathetic. It is terribly painful and unpleasant for him to leave his opponents, whether it's an old grandfather who once was a genius of the game all the gi, or a sad middle-aged man from whom his wife and child left. Yoga is the only consolation for him. Yes, as you understand from the cursory description of the secondary anime characters, March Lion fucking adults are very difficult at times, and it struck me because the first series looked like clowning at a children's matinee. I wanted to tremble. This is not my series up to 8, but then, well, you know what happened then, otherwise they would not have been here. In March Love, a lot of attention is paid to how difficult it is to be a genius, so it is also about how hard it is to bear on your own, including the burden of responsibility for a broken eye will dismiss the opponent. Becoming professionals, you gradually go crazy, lose by winning and again losing while you're on a horse, and that's it. You ray pretty, but if you stumble at least once and everything, the price of just one mistake is too great, and you have to roll back your status reputation at least to 0. My mistake was to look at this anime recipe for boiled rice with raw egg. Honestly, the feeling after such a breakfast was far from the most
pleasant. Well, nothing in the next video I arranged for you. Japanese cuisine from Haikiatsu. A lot of attention is paid to the meaning of the family in March. The main character lost his real family early, managed to live in a foster home, and later moved out to a rented hut. But all this time he was insanely lonely. The guy accidentally met a family of 3 sisters who also knew the pain of losing loved ones, and so spending time together, they gradually heal each other's emotional traumas, and the house and family are comparable to riding the same warm and cozy from under which you don't want to get out so much shorter stupidly lamp. They are instructed with great meaning. 10 points out of 10 and good luck to watch. Thank you for the recommendation of Europe. Please contact me. Well, I think such a video definitely deserves your like and comment, but because I honestly watched all these anime with a pure soul, I advised them to you. I hope at least one title from the list will come to you, but for today it's all. Thanks.